Viewer discretion advised.
Bad vibrations?
Not suitable for work.
Son of a bitch.
Warning. If you are highly sensitive, overly emotional, or easily triggered, do us all a favor and quietly tune out. No need ruining the good time of others simply because you are a beta or a bitch. Age of Men podcast with your co-host in crime, Nick and Julius. Initiate launch sequence.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Happy Sunday to you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you guys like that intro. I love that intro. Shout out to my good partner in crime over here, Nick, for doing that intro. I love it, man. It's so dope.
I put that together in an hour or two before the show while distracted, folks. Don't think that's my best effort. Better intro, upgrade it coming.
No, that's very dope. I like it, man. So we appreciate you guys for being here. God bless you. Do hit that like button. Do hit subscribe if you're not subscribed already, especially if you watch this on replay and this pops up in your recommendation. And do hit that bell for notifications. I know sometimes there's issues, people are not getting notified, but just always make sure you guys are notified so you know when we go live and things like that. So we appreciate you guys all being here. And again, if you guys like that intro, let us know in the comments and we will keep that intro. Or if we can make it better, let us know. Either way.
If you hate it, be a little gentle on your boy, man. It's been a rough week or two. No, I'm just kidding. Pull no punches. Pull no punches.
Yeah. So, Nick, man, another week. How's it going, man?
Couldn't be better now that I'm out here with my partner in crime, chopping it up on the Age of Men, bro. How about you?
All is well, sir. All is well. A little. I don't know. Why I say it's a rough week? I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a rough week. Just more of like, trying to get my YouTube channel going. As far as my daily live streams, I'm trying to get more guests on there so people can know that I take my YouTube seriously. Trying to get some guests. So I know I have I got a guest coming on tomorrow for my show. Her name is Morgan Ariel. I actually met her last year at the Mandate Rally. She's really cool. She's about God. She's very vocal on social media. So I'm gonna definitely talk to her. We're gonna be talking about AI models tomorrow. So it's gonna be pretty interesting.
About what?
AI models.
AI what?
Models.
Buttholes.
AI. No. Sorry. AI models.
Models.
Yeah.
Dude, but I was like, there's no way he's saying buttholes right now.
No. AI buttholes, man. That's all we ever talk about. No.
Me and my friend, we came up with a joke. It's like Bill Gates' first spin-off company. It's going to be a gay robot sex toy, and it's called Fagbots.
Yeah.
It's going to be the first product produced by our company, Jizzcoin.
Yeah. Yeah, the Jizzcoin. Dude, wasn't that so funny when I showed you that tweet?
I'm really glad you shared that, man.
Yeah, I was like, hold up. My homie started that. Don't be out here acting like y'all got something, brand new. I'm like, nah, my homie started that. So that was pretty
Jizzcoin. The unvaccinated sperm will be the next Bitcoin. Jizzcoin.
We gotta get you a commercial for that.
I'm like, you can just wind me up and point me in a direction. I'm like running commercial for it at this point. I got my pitch down.
Yeah.
What investment, ladies, can you make that's guaranteed to increase in value over time? The more people that get vaccinated, the more our stock rises. Jizzcoin.
What's interesting too is that I don't think people really think about that. Like, I think life just goes on, but I don't think people really think about the longevity of that. I mean, I'm not trying to throw out some conspiracies, but I mean, there's been a lot of problems. This isn't the subject, but I just want to get into a side note. But there's been a lot of problems with the vaccine. And if you're out there I advise you not to, but if people are out there having intercourse just for the sake of hooking up and you got vax, even if 2 vax people did it, I mean, I guess maybe it might be better. But at the same time, it's like, maybe not. two vax don't make a match.
Two vax don't make Jizzcoin.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. Be careful out there, folks. So, so Nick, throughout the week, I'm always on social media. I'm always looking on Twitter, which is now the X, Elon Musk calls it. And I'm always looking for content for us to talk about. And I found something pretty interesting to me. This isn't something like a brand new thing, but I think it's interesting to talk about nonetheless. I've noticed that in relationships, anytime you get with somebody, it always seems like that's when women, as a man, it seems like that's when women want you more, is when you're with somebody. Now, I think there's a difference. I think it depends on who you're with, right? Just being in a relationship is one thing. But I think when other women see the women that you have, it makes them go, how did he get her? And I think it makes women curious, what was it about you? Like now they're trying to like figure out what was it about this guy where he got this woman, especially if she looks, I would say like a good 7.5 and up. You know what I mean? If she's at least like 7.5 and up, I think it makes other women curious. I know for me, I've experienced that before. I had an ex years ago, over 10 years ago. And I remember when I got with her, whenever I would go places, there will always be women that will like kind of look at me. And at this time, I was a lot more in shape. Not to say I'm like not out of shape now, but I was a lot more in shape back then.
But you felt it was due largely to having a chick on your arm.
Yeah, I mean, it was that, and there was also the fact that I worked out, I had a job, had my own place, and you can just see the confidence.
Could perhaps I argue that you were working out, having your own place, and all that stuff, holding that all down because you felt the support and love of a loyal chickie boo up by your side? Maybe that's why that was all in place.
Part of it, yeah, I would say part of it because I wanted. Not that I was exercising for her. I kept in shape because I wanted to. Cause I used to work at the airport, so pushing wheelchairs, you're gonna have to be somewhat strong. Especially
a 300-pound woman in a wheelchair is like
it happened. It happened, dude. Like we would get old people or big people.
I used to work in a nursing home. I'm not exaggerating when I say that kind of thing. Yeah.
We
called Julius. We'd be like, "Bring in the big guns."
I'm telling you, like working at the airport with the wide load. Like, I mean, it was bizarre. So
did you have to make it sound like a truck? Like, did you have to make beeping like when you were backing up?
In my mind, it was like, hey, everybody back up.
Everybody around was thinking it too. Nobody said it out loud.
The worst part was going up the ramp, trying to push them up.
Do you have to get a partner? Do you have to get a buddy to help you push them up?
No. See, thank God I worked out so I can do it myself. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to. You get somebody else now. Like the females, like, oh, this guy's kind of weak.
Yeah,
but you see,
you'd be doing something to their self-conscious, I think, too. Like if I had to get a fatty up the thing and I couldn't do it myself, I would quietly get the support of one of my coworkers without letting the lady know. I would act like it was all me.
You know what's funny though is that when I worked there, I actually started something new, and nobody was doing this until I started doing this. So we used to have to push 2 wheelchairs, right? So there's one person here. I would see people do it, and like the wheelchairs are going this way, they're going that way. I said, how come nobody grabbed the handles? So I grabbed the handles and was walking normally with 2 wheelchairs.
Well, I would tell the 2 old people to hold hands while I push you.
Yeah, I know. Like nobody was doing that. So I started doing that. So when I got people who were heavier, it made it a lot easier to pull them. So
you're the kind of guy I'd give a raise to. That kind of ingenuity at a job is like when everybody else is overlooking the obvious here and you fix a problem or make it better by doing that kind of thing. That's the kind of guy you want to promote. You want to give like opportunity to that.
I'm telling you, I bust my butt doing that. But with all that being said, like keeping in shape like that, and then having a girl, it does. I would argue it does boost your confidence because you want to look good for her. You want to, her to maintain attraction to you. So with that comes other women being attracted to you as well. So when I'm out and about and I'm wearing something nice and my shirt looks all like tight, muscles all popping out, whatever the case may be, and I'm just like overly just happy about life, people see that. And when you have a girl in your arm and like she's happy to be with you, she's not looking down, sad, she's just like glowing all the time, it makes other women go, what is it about this guy? You know what I mean? It's bizarre, man. It's totally bizarre.
Actually, psychology is pretty well established. It's called pre-selection bias. And they've established time and time again with women, for instance, a man who has a wedding ring on is more attractive subconsciously to women in general. Not all women, obviously. I hate that we even have to make that a point at this point, but we're speaking generally. More women than not will find you more attractive than less if you have a mate already, because in nature the psychology is I need to, as a woman, I need to find a male who I can endear myself to enough that he's going to protect, provide, and provision for me forever, or else I die. There's no second chance. There's no other mate out there that's going to have me once this guy and I do what we do. So if another woman has earned that seeming loyalty from a man, they wonder, what's it about that man that she's giving him that role for? She must trust him with her life. And subconsciously, even if they don't realize that consciously, that's what's going on. Not to mention they're social creatures. They have to survive in the social hierarchy in nature. Otherwise, they'll be cast out. So the other women and people's opinions around in the community has an influence on them. Or else they're out and they're dead in nature.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah. In fact, I would say sometimes it seems like when it rains, it pours with women. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
and other times there can be some cold droughts. But yeah, absolutely. I would say it seems to be true in my experience.
Have you ever been in a situation where, aside from just attraction, you ever had like you were with the girl, like you had a girlfriend, and this other girl you knew tried to kind of get you to maybe like cheat on your girlfriend because she was like jealous, like she saw you guys together and she's like, oh, I'm so happy for you, but she tried to overly flirt with you, try to send you like choosing signals. Like, has that ever happened to you before where you've been tempted to, almost cheat on your girl because this girl's attracted to you?
Yeah, I was like tempted by many girls, but how do you think I developed such good ho no game? No ho.
Do you I had a question to that too. Um do you think that in a situation like that happening, right? Let's say you have a girlfriend and another girl is attracted to you, who you're friends with, but she like wants you. Do you think that if and when you give into her, that afterwards she'll actually see you as unattractive? Because you gotta think, you have a girlfriend and now you fell for the temptation, and because of that, she was like, if he was willing to cheat on his girlfriend with me, imagine if I got with him.
If she was wise, that would be her mindset, but it seems to just go over the heads of a lot of them out there. Not that I'm a cheater, but like I've brought that up to them when they're trying to get me to do it or whatever. I'm like, what kind of guy would I be? Could you even find me attractive after that? Like, think this through, lady. And no, it's different. Whatever they use to justify, yeah. They will look at you different, whether they realize it or not. I'm sure of it. They should.
I mean, even if they kept it going, it's still, I mean, if they kept the fun going, it's still the idea of like, she's having fun. It's like, she'll be with you for a good time and not for a long time, essentially, because it's like she's having fun with you, even though you have a girl, because it's like, ooh, we're sneaking around. But in the long run, she was like, I would never keep this guy as a boyfriend because he's cheating on his girlfriend. So if I got with him, he can cheat on me with somebody else. But it's fun for right now.
Right. And she might gaslight you into thinking that like that's your guys' future relationship, but it brings to mind the quote, she's not yours, she's just yours right now.
Oh, I can't stand it. Honestly, I don't like that because it just sounds, not that I don't like it to not like it. I don't
sounds
like
pessimistic, right? It sounds like,
well, yes, but at the same time, it's just like, because it's so true, and that's why I don't like it. That's like the one time of the truth I just don't like. You know, people like get mad at the truth. That's the one time I'm just like, I can't stand that, because it makes me think about all the times where I've been with somebody and then things didn't work out, and I realized it wasn't my turn. She wasn't mine. It was just my turn, and I don't like that because then it makes it look like every guy is just waiting to get in. You know what I mean? Like that's why I don't like that. It makes me think about like that meme where all the guys are lined up and then it's that 12th guy who's holding the flowers.
Yeah.
Like she's not
20
mine.
deep in the line.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. That's why I don't like that. It's just so gross, man. It's disgusting.
Check out Stella's comment here, if you don't mind pinning it while I read it. She said, I think men are more desirable when desired by other women because other women want what other women have. Hi, I just tuned in. Hi, Stella.
Yeah.
Thanks for your insight. Thanks for corroborating us.
Yeah, matter of fact, I want to respond to that, but let me pull this up real quick because I actually found this to be interesting. I think I want to pull up this one. Um, I found a bunch of articles on this, so you I forget I got all these tabs up right now. So
And Julius is gonna hit your uncultured motherfucker co-host over here with some gems, I'm sure, at the moment. That's what we do at this part of the show.
yeah, so get this. So this is comes from scipost.org. Study women find men who are desired by other women to be more desirable. I think you were actually talking about the evolutionary psychology. I think we spoke about this before the show. And this just this paragraph alone, it says women tend to perceive a man with an attractive romantic. I'm gonna say significant other because I don't like the word partner. So women tend to perceive a man with an attractive romantic significant other as more desirable, according to research published in the journal Evolutionary Psychology. The study of 245 female college students suggests that women use the presence of a romantic significant other to infer that a man possesses unobservable positive traits. The female participant found men more desirable when they were shown with an attractive significant other compared to when men were shown alone. Men shown with an attractive significant other tended to be viewed as more intelligent, trustworthy, humorous, wealthy, romantic, goal-driven, adventurous, generous, and attentive to needs of others. So I
So
thought
there
that
you
was
got it,
pretty.
young men. You just got to go find yourself a willing woman to play your side piece, and then all your game is done for you. In their heads, they already convinced themselves you're more attractive, you're more funny, you're all. You did nothing. He just has a girl.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Amazing.
This was another one. I kind of want to briefly read this one. Don't know if this. Let me see real quick. Hold on. This may or may
Think
not.
about that though, Julius. All of the boxes that a woman wants to be ticked by a man, like characteristics, she's literally pretending or imagining he has all those when he's with somebody else. That's what this article's saying, right?
Yeah, and you know what's funny too is that like, and I'm gonna pull up a different article. In just a second. But what's interesting about that too, and people can say, well, men are the same way, right? Because
Nope.
if you notice though, now maybe not, but if you notice though, I would argue that there is a similarity with men because how many times, matter of fact, we spoke about this last night on Angela's live stream. There was a video where basically they were saying that when, for example, if you have a girlfriend, right, and I see her in my mind, I'm like, dang, she is pretty bad. Like, I wouldn't mind if she was with me, I wouldn't mind. Like, I'm already desiring your girl. So it's like this idea that like when men see their homie kind of fine chick in their mind, they're like, man, I kind of want to hit that too. So do you think it
But
kind
the
of
difference is women have endless dating options, so they always have the potential to be with somebody. So it's not really increasing their pre-selection bias, if you ask me. And also, men, since we literally physically fight, we literally physically confront with other men and compete and whatnot. If a chick is taken, you're not gonna be going to great lengths to try to get that girl with you because it's gonna end in fucking
I don't
chaos
know,
for you
man.
and or him.
I don't
Unless the dude's
know.
a total beta in the first place, in which case the girl's not worth fighting for.
I mean, yeah, to some men's eyes, they think they're alphas because I've seen like in real time, I've seen dudes have a girlfriend, and then I've seen the other guy just kind of talk to her on the side, like, "Yo, what's good?" And next thing you know, she's messing with him, she's messing with the homie, and then
Well, if
it
it's that
once.
easy, he'll bang her real quick. You know what I mean, Julius? But he's not trying to wife that girl if he's smart.
Sure, no, sure, but doesn't that still play to the idea that even though pre-selection bias for women is very prevalent, can't we say the same thing about men if they're wanting other dudes' girls?
I don't think so. I think pretty much men will bang anything that they're able to. If a chick's taken already and she makes it easy pickings, a lot of men who are starved for the pee will take that. But just as easily, they would take a pee that's not taken if it presented itself. I really don't think. I think men are just not very choosy or picky because they have to be take what I can get kind of thing. Beggars can't be choosers.
I don't know, man. I got to disagree with you on this one.
Hey,
I
I don't
think
have a hard opinion on it. You tell me what you think.
Yeah, no, I mean, I almost see that equally where when a man is, if I have a girlfriend and I've taken care of myself, I'm in shape, and also too, you gotta think there's layers also to, um, there's more. I would say there's more layers when a man has a woman and other women are attracted to him. There's more layers. Is he physically in shape? His facial structure matters. Like all those things matter. His symmetry, his physicality. Does he have his own job? Things like that, his own car, all that stuff matters. I think with men, it's just purely like a physical thing. There's not much layers besides, if she got big butt, if she got breasts, it's like a few layers,
If
but
she
not
got
as
a
many as
body, I
a woman.
can work with the rest. That kind of attitude.
Exactly. Exactly. So I will argue that when a man gets a woman who is fine, other men want her. And when a man gets with a woman who's fine, other women want him. So I think that there's an equality across the board.
Hey, let's see.
And
We
we
got 10 people watching at least on YouTube. What do you guys think in the chat? Help us better decide who's got the right issue here, or are we both kind of hitting on something, or are we both dead wrong? Tell us where we're at.
Stella says, "Yeah, you get curious about your friends." I can't use that word partner. I'm sorry. That word
I
partner is
don't.
weird.
Yeah,
That
you're right.
I'll be
Distinguish
honest with
that.
you.
Partner's a lame word. We don't like that.
I'll be honest with you. Partner came from homosexuals. I'm not trying to be mean, but it did. It
I'll
came from
take.
homosexuals. Like it did. It came from homosexuals. I don't use that term. And also too with the word partner, it makes it look like men and women are equal. So
Also,
it
I was just
has
gonna
to
say
be
partners implies equal, right? If that's the
exactly.
case, that's
Yeah.
fine. But I would advise ladies and men to realize: do you want a leader slash do you want to play the leadership role in a relationship, or do you want to be 50-50 equal partners? Because you can't have both. They have to be one
Yeah.
or the other. A leader, a captain, cannot be equally voted into into stagnation by his first mate. The captain has ultimate authority. The leader.
Yeah.
You got to
There's
decide
significant
one or the
other.
other.
Yeah, there's significant other sounds better because it
Their
almost shows.
mate. I would like to. I just call it the mate.
No, mate is fine too. Mate, significant other, is fine because it almost. I don't want to use this word. I can be wrong, but it almost shows like a authority. Like it's more authority when you say their significant other or their mate. It has like an authority to it. But with partner, it's just 50-50 down the middle, and men and women are not equal. There has to be somebody that leads the relationship. That's just how I see it. If it's a man and a woman together, somebody has to lead that relationship, and that's just how it is. That's why there's not two presidents, it's not two managers. When there is two managers, it's manager and assistant manager. So there's always somebody that leads and someone that follows behind. So it has to be, yeah, you just can't say partner.
I want to be clear to Stella, man. This is something, at least for me, and I don't know that women operate the same way or not. I can only speak as a man. When it comes to my friends, girls, or people like I'm close with, homies that I'm close with, that girl, in my view, literally becomes I don't want to say unattractive, a non-sexual possibility. It's not. I'm not going there no matter what for any reasons. There's no girl that could win over my attentions like that over a homie or even somebody I just like have some respect for, and it's not like a super close. They just instantly in my eyes become a non-sexualized being, like a friend, a man as a friend.
Yeah, we actually had this conversation even more in detail. Angela's live yesterday. This guy was saying he didn't believe me, but I've always been like this. Whenever my friends have a girlfriend, my homies have a girlfriend, I don't look at her and be like, when can I smash? Like, when can it be my turn? I just don't do that. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's either the commandments that say that thou shalt not covet another man's wife or something like that. I don't like to do that, even if it's just a boyfriend girlfriend situation. I don't want to be the person who's looking at my homie's girl because that tells me that I'm not really my homie's friend. I'm his enemy at that point because I'm looking at his girl as if I want to take her. So now I'm
Yeah.
his enemy versus me
No,
being his friend. You know what I mean?
no P in the world should command that kind of attention or action from you as a man.
Yeah.
You need to have more authority over yourself as a man. And to that end, the biggest thing I could advise young men, but all men, is to have a purpose in your life that compels you more than P. Literally
Yeah.
anything. Pick something and invest in that. Motivate yourself to be focused on that And if and when it comes down to it, you do not prioritize any P over that priority.
Yeah.
That's your purpose.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I mean, have you? I mean, it's up to you if you want to be personal or not. But have you ever had that happen to you where you had a friend and a girlfriend? Like, did you ever feel that thought come to your mind when you was like, she does look kind of good, or were you like, nah, she's my? I know you talked about it, but like, has it personally ever happened to you where your friend had a girl and she was looking kind of right, and you were like, I mean, or were you just
Bro,
like,
more than once they were giving me the eyes. Some of my friends' girls, a couple times, and it was conflicting because, like, some other like mutual people would notice, or like a homie and I would like start talking about it or something, and we would start questioning like, man, obviously our boy needs to know this. Like, I would want to know if I was in his shoes, but how do you go about this in a way that's not going to cause him to be mad at you and side with the girl?
yeah, I never understood. I know why when you're honest like that with your friends, why would he then be mad at you? Like,
Because the P's commanding the pedestalizing the P. You know,
yeah, yeah, and that sucks too because it's like it's that scarcity mindset where he'd rather get mad at you than to confront her because he don't want to lose her. But if
right?
she's eyeballing you and she's supposed to be your homie's girl, you gotta be like, okay, like if I had a girlfriend, she's eyeballing you, and you say, hey man, I'll be honest with you, she's been eyeballing me because sometimes men can say, well, he just probably saying that just to get with her, but even still, it was
No, but
show.
at this point, you would trust me enough. I think you would be like, "Thank you, bro. I know that wasn't easy to tell me. I know you're telling me
Right.
the truth."
Yeah,
So
and that's what I'm saying. If you told me that, I would just confront her and be say, "Hey, you got eyes for my homie?" Straight off the bat, you got eyes for my homie. Oh my god, what are you talking about? She acts like that, like acting like
Nick told me you made a move on him.
yeah, and she reacting the way where it's like trying to gaslight you.
No, he tried to make a move on me, Julius. You don't know
Yeah,
that guy at all.
right. And then when
He's
she's
a
like, "No, what?"
creep.
Yeah, and then if she goes, "You know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm out of here." I'll say, "Okay." When she
You're
leave,
damn right you're gonna leave. I was gonna kick your ass out the door anyways.
yeah, I would just never text her. Like if she said she's gonna leave, I would just say, "Okay." And then she storms out and she tried to text me, "Can I come back?" Nothing. Doors locked.
Ah!
I'm chilling watching TV.
Hey, off of that real quick, Julius, can you give any like from your experience advice on the no contact, no acknowledgement thing after a girl breaks up with you or tells you I don't want to hear or talk to you anymore, and you play the hard line, no communication, no interaction, no
Yeah.
matter what. How's that benefit you? What's that do for you?
No, great question. People might see this as toxic, but it's not. If you're with somebody, and I want men to listen to this closely too. Some men might know this, but listen up. If you're with somebody and she claims to like you or maybe even love you, and then all of a sudden things don't work out because of insecurities, and then she breaks up with you over something asinine, the moment she breaks up with you, whether it's through phone call, you guys talk about it, she's like, I just can't be with you no more. You say, all right, cool, hang up. Or if she texts you a breakup, especially if she texts you a breakup, you do not text back at all. Now you might call it toxic and tell you why. The moment she breaks up with you, if you try to talk her out of it and then she gets back with you, she's just playing, she's playing games with you to get you to be like, baby, please, why? What's going on? She's just playing games with you. The moment that she breaks up with you, especially through text, you do not text back at all. You just
If she
drop it.
breaks up with you through text, the lack of respect that's being shown in that action, I don't
Right.
think
That's what I'm saying.
warrants any respect in return or even acknowledgement by fucking responding.
Exactly. She really has no respect for you to even talk to you over the phone. Now, if it was over the phone and she's like, hey, I can't be with you, but it's still something asinine, just be cool, be cordial on the phone, just say, hey, I understand, and then just I gotta go. You leave. So listen, I gotta get going. I'll talk to you later. You don't know how much later it will be, but you just say I'll talk to you later. When she tries to text you after you guys hung up, don't even text back. Just let it go. It might be hard, but just let it go. And the reason why that is because you want to show that you're not going to play to her games. You're not stoop to her level. You're not going to allow her to control you. And she may not text you back. She may not text you back. If she breaks up with you, she may not text you back in like a week, month, whatever. be, but at some point she will, and when she does, you still don't respond because you want to know why?
You still
Especially,
have- That's step two.
especially yeah, especially if she never wanted to call you. Now, this is just via text. If she never wanted to call you and she broke up with you via text, ever text back because why? She had no respect enough for you to call you and have a conversation about it. She just went the coward route and did it through text. So you just don't respond. So if she texts back after a month, don't say nothing. You do not say nothing. You carry on about your life. Either she will.
Step two, see step one. Don't respond.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, not respond. Now, if she, let's say it's been a month and she calls you, don't answer right away. Call her back like next couple of days. Give it a couple of days, and that's not being toxic. You're just standing your ground and not what's that phrase? You're
Desperate and
not
eager
no
for her,
no that, but you're not
appeasing
you're
her or
not
placating her.
no you're not attending. You're not going to her every beck and call. I forget how you put that, but you know what I
Simping,
mean. Like
simping, as the kids say.
yeah, like you're not like jumping like to action to talk to her. Like again, let's say she broke up with you over text, and then a month later on she calls you and you answer right away. That's gonna look like you've been waiting by the phone every single day. And when
You
you
know what she's
answer
gonna think to herself? I got this dude wrapped around my finger, right
exactly,
by the balls, just where I want him, anytime
exactly,
I want him.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So you don't want that. So the reason why you do no contact is because you're standing your ground. Mind you, this isn't a toxic thing. You're not playing games. You're standing your ground as a man and not allowing her to control you, to have you wrapped around her finger. That's all it is. And even if she never texts back after that, that's fine. You dodged a bullet. She wasn't for you, so you have to understand that. Real quick,
Hey,
on
did you
the
see
topic.
Babylon's comment? I really want to address it. It'll be a
Uh,
quick address, but he said, "What if you're going through a drought and your ex is the only option?" Julius, any advice
don't
before
do it.
I add?
Don't do it.
Then it's not
Don't.
worth it, bro. If that's your only
As
option,
a
go
matter
get
of
some
fact,
better options if you really need it or something. But don't go to
yeah, no.
her.
As a matter of fact, to this question, right? What if you're going through X drought and your ex is the only option? First and foremost, you shouldn't even be worried about sex in the first place. You should be worried about being on your purpose. You should be worried about making money. Money should be your girlfriend. You get what I'm saying? You should be married to the money, not married to the.
Woo!
That should be what you should be doing. If you're on a, that's a good thing because now that gives you more time to focus on yourself and less time to focus on the woman's vagina. So
Dating Miss
you're
Frankie, Benjamin Franklin's $100 bills, y'all.
yeah, and the fact that you're having sex like that anyways, you're already losing, bro, because you're chasing after what's not going to benefit you. Like having sex with lots of girls is not going to benefit you financially, nor going to benefit your health. So you should be focused on yourself. I'm going more towards the route of waiting until marriage to bear children and things like that. So if you're having sex out of wedlock, I advise you right now to stop. It's not going to help you because again, you're going to keep going through those droughts because on your mind you're going to think about like all you're going to do is keep thinking about you got to have it. It starts to become an addiction that you're having withdrawals.
Bro,
So
and the women know this. The women sense that you're this desperate, and they're going to use you to every which end that you could imagine. And guess what? I don't even like blame them or anything. It's your fault. You're ultimately the one that could stop that if you just don't let her. But you're simping, chasing Pete.
yeah.
Let's
Is
just say
this
much better
Sarge right here?
combo than in Discord tonight. I'm getting distracted by all kinds of BS from there, man. And I tell you what, if only the 2 hours a week that Julius and I are out here when everybody knows on Sunday nights, they could at least, if they don't want to support us or watch us, just stop fighting and DMing me and shit while I'm hosting a show. That would show that they even gave a shit about me. But Sarge, I couldn't be happier to be out of there, frankly, at this point doing this. So I'm glad you bring that to my attention. Unreal.
Yeah. Listen, I don't want to get into the drama, but I'll just speak on it. I chose to back away from Discord. I know it's your Discord, Nick, but
I'm about to too, Julius. I'm about to delete the whole fucking thing.
unfortunately, I chose to back out. I can't speak on why, but I chose to back out. I just don't want to associate myself with people who don't want to associate with me. So let's put it like that. But God bless them all at the end of the day. So real quick, On to the topic we were talking about before about male desireship, if that's a word. Um,
Desirability?
there you go.
Is
Yeah.
that what got you.
So desireship. Hey, you never know, it could be a word. But I
I
want to
like that.
bring. Yeah, so I was going to bring up the video and why I brought this topic up in the first place, because I thought this was a very good story. Now, mind you, the person who tweeted this out on Twitter, they did make a good point. So I'll play this video. This is basically a woman talking about what happened when another woman saw her man. So let's play this video real quick, and then I'll get you guys up to speed to that.
Catfight, no surprise.
It's very interesting though. Let me scroll down.
Julius is always bringing the interesting cultural significant kind of things to us folks, and I think that we're hearing a lot of feedback that that's what you guys kind of like about our dynamic. He bounces some like modern pop culture off of me, who's so out of it that it's funny to see the reaction sometimes and see what kind of combos come from it, because I'm so, I don't know if illiterate's the right word, but like uncultured maybe.
Yeah.
Uncivil.
You're uncultured swine from Toy Story. You're uncultured swine.
Guilty.
Okay, so here's that video here. I think I could pull it up like this. They're gonna be on the side here. Okay, so here's that video here. I'm gonna hopefully play it from the beginning.
Julius, can we do a full screen? It's very small. I see it over.
Someone tried to
No.
steal my husband.
You're the man.
I got it. Let me just pull it full screen real quick. Okay, so this is on TikTok. This woman says, problem of getting married to a handsome man, and she talks about how a woman tried to steal her husband. So here's that video here.
Someone tried to steal my husband today.
Oh, brother. What?
We're in Florida. We are at a hotel, and at the airport today, some woman tried to take him.
Tell him, honey. How they
You tell him. You were the one almost a part of a crime.
I thought you were behind me. And I go to turn around and say, hey, honey. And it's a woman that okay, that's your fault for not stepping out quick enough to get behind me.
He was walking, and a woman was behind him, and he thought it was me, and he turned to, hey, honey, and he said, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were my wife. And what did she say? What did this woman say? I could be. I was stunned.
I was flattered.
What to say,
But look.
Why,
Yeah, so do you see how happy she is? Like,
dude, you see how she's able to react so joyfully? Honestly, I think this speaks to her mate's her mate being a good guy for having made her feel so assured that he's only got eyes for her. Because lesser couples in that situation, there'd be a little bit of tension.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, though, look how happy she was. The fact that another woman was like, "I could be,"
giddy almost. She probably picked them real good that night.
I don't want to get into all that.
If I had to guess, it seemed like they're about to get hanky panky on right then and there.
I know. I know, but if you think about it, though, right? I found that video fascinating to me because I wonder if her man wasn't as attractive as he was, and let's say he turned around and said, oh, I thought you were my wife, and she was like, oh yeah, whatever, and just kind of walked away. Now, one can say she's having a bad day, kind of go that route, but she didn't react to him. What would the woman then say then? Do you know what I mean? Like, will it sit in her the thing like, wow, like chick saw my husband but didn't even react to him?
Interesting question. The woman doesn't acknowledge or have a witty response to him saying, "Oh, I thought you were my wife." She's like, "Wow, you wish, pig." Would that affect his wife's view of him? Interesting question.
Exactly, because it would make me wonder if she goes, "Did I pick the right guy?" Because this woman, she thinks he's attractive, but this woman doesn't think he's attractive.
It's opposite of pre-selection bias. I see, Julius. You're always thinking up great questions to ask. Ladies in the chat, if you were in that similar situation and your husband or your significant other that you've been with for a while, serious guy, was mistaken that somebody else was you, He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were my girlfriend or my wife. And she was like, drop dead, you wish, clown. Would that at all affect your subconscious, your psyche, as to how you perceive your man? Conversely, would it affect you if she received it well, like she did? It was like, oh, maybe I could be, or whatever she said. How does that affect you, ladies? Give us the feedback. We at the Age of Men actually like to talk and listen to the ladies, unlike any other, what do they call them, red pill podcast.
And also, too, we talk about pretty privilege, right? Women have pretty privilege. Is it fair to say that men have handsome privilege? Because look at the fact that, like, how, you know, obviously he looks like he's in shape. You know, he's groomed himself pretty nicely, got a nice haircut. If the woman that saw him, he said, oh, I thought you were my wife. And she's like, oh, I could be, right? Because she's looking at this guy who's in shape, nice haircut, nice smile. And she's looking at that. Does that give him, like, if it was, I'm not trying to be mean about myself, but I'm saying if it was, I'm not saying I'm not confident, but if it was me, I don't have all the things that women check boxes off of. That's just what it is. But if that was me and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were my wife, would she react to me and be like, oh, no, not her? Like, would she kind of do the whole like friendly giggle thing, or she'd be like, you could be, or I could be? Do you know what I mean? Like, is there such thing called?
That's an excellent point, Julius. If he's a high status mate and you are mistaking somebody else for your wife, she might be like, please take him off my hands, unless he's a high status. If he's like anything below that, she might be like, oh, good riddance. Go with her then. Do me a favor.
Yeah. Stella says, I'm possessive, so I'd probably say something or else give her a dirty look. Let the cat fight begin. Yeah, it's interesting to me. This is the reason why I think that, you know, women say that they'll say things like, you know, I love a dad bod. But I don't know. I didn't disagree with that. I think, and some might be into that. That's fine. But I think some women like the dad bod because it makes them less insecure. When a guy is in shape and his face is chiseled right, that does bring a little bit of what do you call it? Not insecurity, but it's what's the word I'm looking for? Not insecurity, but it brings no. It
turned on.
The word's like right there too. She almost feels
intimidation.
Yes, good. I saw like an eye.
You know, you keep me around for something, Julius. It's all the headaches I put you through. It's moments like these I totally redeem myself.
Yeah, yeah, but it makes her intimidated because the fact that he's in shape, great smile, great haircut, things like that, positive attitude, those type of things do glow. Matter of fact, I'll give you an example, okay? When I used to work at Six Flags and I lost a lot of weight, when I first got hired there, I was about 170 pounds. I gained a lot of weight. I was kind of depressed at one point because I didn't have a job. Me and my girl broke up and I was kind of just out of it, you know? Then one day I say, you know what? I need to get a job. And so I went down to City College to go use their computers because I still have my card to go use the library. So I went there, looked for a job, and I was looking in Sacramento, and I was like, man, there's no job in Sac. I say, you know what? I'm going to go outside the city. So I looked in Vallejo, saw Six Flags. Why not? And so got a job there, went about 171, and I got security. And as I got security, it allowed me to walk around a lot. I realized that it would be exercise. So after like a good almost a year, I lost about like 30 pounds.
And the ladies were throwing themselves at this in shape security guard, huh?
It was definitely a different, because I was more thinner. My face was a lot more chiseled.
Was it noticeable all the attention you would get like towards like midway through the career or towards the end compared to the beginning when you weren't as in shape?
Yeah, and here's the reason why. It's because my friend brought this up to me. One day, all the girls were like checking out, right? And I'm like, checking their badges and things like that. And they're like smiling a certain way. He tells me, he's like, he just shakes his head. And I was like, what? He's like, the women like you, man. I was like,
you're like, oh, really? I hadn't noticed.
I know, right? No, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they was like, dude, every time these girls check out with their, whatever they clock out, you have this aura around you, and it's like they're always smiling. Like he said, I've seen chicks in a bad mood, but when they come to you to clock out, they just always happen to smile. Like you just have this aura around you. Cause I was just super happy. It's like I didn't even realize I lost weight, but I felt it, and I was just like happy. It was fun. I had a great job working security in Six Flags at a theme park. I never had that before. It was fun to get a chance to ride
You just see
before
all these
work.
hot chicks out in the summer clothes and stuff, and they're like seeing
I
you
mean-
as a security guard. Yeah, they're like, oh, Mr. In Charge around here. He's looking good. Yeah, I can imagine, young man, you're having a fun summer with that job.
But what's funny is too is that I got Employee of the Month, so the park president recognized that I got Employee of the Month. That kind of like helped a little bit. You know what I mean? I worked hard, man. I was a hard worker, so it was just funny. What's up, Megatron? I gotta see he was in here. So what it do, Julie? What up, man? I appreciate you for being here. But my point is that like, yeah, it was, my best, I guess, if you will. I felt it. I didn't realize I lost that much weight, but I felt it. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Like I didn't realize it. And so to see women kind of react to that, it's like, okay, when you are in shape, when you do have this positive attitude, they can just sense it on you. When you're sad about life and you're down, they can sense that. It's almost like they can smell it on you. So it's like they don't want to talk to you because you're always looking down. You look sad about something. Like they can just see it. When you don't walk with confidence, they won't talk to you. Like, you know what I mean? They want nothing, to do with you. So it's interesting stuff. We're about to hit the first hour in about 14 minutes. So if anybody wants to come on the show and speak to us about if men are more desirable when they're desired by other women, do come on and talk to us. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now.
It's about that time, people. Don't be shy. Step on up to the age of men.
So here's the link right here if you guys want to come into the chat.
And you don't have to be on camera, folks. You'll be presented the screen ahead of time where you can choose if you want your camera on or off.
Yeah.
We prefer you're on camera. It's a better experience for the viewer. It's a better experience for us because we get to look at each other eye to eye. But it's not a deal breaker. If that's what's going to keep you from coming on, you can join us no camera.
Yeah. I forgot to
tweet.
Yeah, I have to tweet this
Because I was
out.
running late. I knew it. I was going to remind you when I was running late. Hey, why don't you just send out that tweet right now? Damn it. I knew I was going to throw that off. What are they going to call it now? That X?
Yeah, it's called X.
No, but I mean, like, instead of a tweet, like, that tweet was like,
oh,
that's a name. That's a name brand right there.
Yeah. So I know it went from tweet to post. He changed it to post.
Hey, I don't know how to question Elon, frankly, but yeah, he's made some moves in the past. I like his decisiveness sometimes, willingness to make a bold move that he believes in, and this might be one that ends up panning out. It doesn't seem at all wise on the surface, if you ask anybody. But then again, neither did like PayPal when he started that shit, or you know what I mean, like SpaceX.
Well, we'll get this on a side note. So this is just a side note real quick. We're going to get back to the conversation on a side note. There is this NASCAR driver. I posted about it too. It was a NASCAR driver. Let me see what his name was. Noah Gragson. And
that sounds like a NASCAR driver's name.
He liked this meme. It was a meme of George. It was the crab from Little Mermaid. You know the song.
You were cutting out. Can you repeat George what?
Oh, George Floyd. It was a meme of George Floyd, and his face was on the crab from Little Mermaid, and the song of Little Mermaid called "Under the Sea." It was George Floyd's face, and it said "Under the knee, like under the knee." Like it was like that, and so he liked that meme, and I guess NASCAR found out and they suspended him. So Elon Musk
liking something.
Yeah. And so
people.
Yeah, so NASCAR suspended him, and then also Legacy Motor Club also did away with working with him. And so Elon Musk had a tweet today where he said, if you were, I'm reading from my phone, he said, if you were unfairly treated by your employer due to
we'll cover your lawsuit costs.
Yeah. We will fund your legal bill, no limit. Please let us know.
I saw that probably from you because I get most of my news from my main man Julius. But that's an incredible offer.
Yeah, it was crazy
Dude,
stuff.
just think about it, man. What he's doing, he's not planning on funding all of these lawsuits. He's putting that out there as a PR move. So the weight of Twitter and Elon Musk is behind anybody who might feel disgruntled and is going to lose a job or be punished for it. And therefore, the employer is going to be like, they're going to think twice or long and hard before they start to do things to people that were done on Twitter. Like, oh man, Elon and all the full power of Elon might come at me right now. I'm going to not suspend my employee for that. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see it.
Interesting stuff. So back to the conversation. Gray says, Julius, I ain't never coming on to a panel again. Not after the other night. Hallucinations, ended up in the hospital. You emailed me and I literally had no idea what you were talking about till I watched.
Wait, what happened?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't say too much, but Grace, you're
Pass a little black magic over a black magic spell.
No, Grace, you're fine. You're fine. But I do want to pin the StreamYard link because I want you guys, anybody wants to come on, we want you guys to come on so we can have this conversation because I want to know if you guys think differently. Do you disagree? What do you guys think? So I want you guys to come on. So let me pin the StreamYard link.
Yeah, please do. We don't bite. What's that lame line? We don't bite unless you want us to. Like some simps say that shit.
No, I mean that was on Austin Powers where he was like, I don't bite hard.
Unless you want me to, baby. Yeah.
Why can I not pin this tweet? Or this post or this comment? I'm having a hard
Oh,
time
because it's a link. It's probably because it's a link.
I know it's so lame. It's so lame. Well, it's there.
If you need it, folks, just give us a heads up and we'll send it to you. We'll keep periodically giving a heads up and putting it out there. But you just click that link, you're able to join us right here on the show. You get a what they call a splash screen ahead of time. It's not like you're going to click that link and be on the air with us live. You're going to get a chance to see how your camera and your audio look and sound. Choose if you want it on or off. Pick a name and then click Enter Studio, and from there we can bring you in. But it's not too scary.
Yeah, I'm going to go on the YouTube page if I can, if it loads. And I'm going to hopefully. Well, I mean, it's probably going to take too long because it's not even trying to do it. Well,
while you're doing that, remake me a mod again. I think we forgot on my new account or something. Because then I can help with the chat with that kind of thing, sharing links and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the link is there. It should be fine. It's all good. It's no worry. Stella says, "Sheesh, what was the talk about?" No,
we all want to know, Stella.
No, it was nothing. She was. I don't want to say too much, but I'll just say, long story short, I can't. I'd rather have Grace tell it than me.
Hey, tune into our Patreon, people. That's a cliffhanger. That's what we do.
I know we gotta get a little Patreon. Yeah, but in all seriousness, no. If you guys want to join the conversation, do come on. The link is in the chat. It's right there. If you see the link, you should come in and have a conversation. Do you guys disagree with the fact that men are more desirable when they're desired by other women, or do you think it's case by case? Join us and hop on. We'd love to have you guys on. And yeah, Grace says, I was talking to one of our cows in the bedroom that wasn't there.
That's not nice to refer to women as cows, Grace.
No, she was just sick, and she was on Angela's podcast, so there's that.
Oh,
yeah, I thought it was fine.
I'm very interested.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I didn't really see like a problem with it. Grace, you're fine, but you don't have to come on. But we're just inviting you guys to come on. If you guys want to join us, definitely join us. Oh, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Liddell. Today is his birthday, so so Liddell, if you come across this video, happy birthday, man! Appreciate all you do. We love you, man, and have a blessed day. So we appreciate.
It's my dad's birthday in a couple of days, Liddell. So you're both some alpha males. An age of men needs to take guidance from you guys. Take a lesson or two out of your book, and we'll all be all right in this world.
Yeah, well, happy early birthday to what do you call it? with my friends, anytime that I meet their mom, we always call them like Mama something. Like for
My
example,
old man,
well,
Pops
so
Turk. Turk is like my first half of my last name, so they always say it like that. Pop
okay,
Turk, Mr.
yeah,
Turk.
yeah, because my friends call me Juels. So when they meet my mom, they say Mama Juels. So it's like we gotta get like a cool name for your dad, like Papa Nick.
Mr. T. A lot of my friends called him the one they wanted to be funny.
But yeah. So happy early birthday to Papa Nick. So
We'll be celebrating. Him and I will be going out for lunch that day.
Grace says, I don't remember on stream at all, and I even emailed Joy the same night, Nick. Yeah, no, it's all good. You're all good. You're fine. Like I watched the stream. You were fine. There's nothing like
Grace, I'm dying for Julius to read me that email privately after this.
it wasn't too crazy. It wasn't. Yeah, it was nothing. But do hop on, man. We want you guys to hop on. So we want you guys to join the conversation, you know? So let's say happy birthday, Papa Nick. Hey, the name is sticking. Papa Nick.
Honestly, my dad I thought he was a scary guy when I was a kid because I didn't understand all that he was silently putting on his shoulders for the benefit of the family. And as I grew, man, I never ever would have imagined that I'm at a spot in my life now where I would honestly say I feel like my dad and I are like friends. We're like really good boys. It's pretty incredible so the reason I bring that up is any young men who are having a hard time with dad or like I literally, Pops, if you're watching this right now, I think you sensed it. You probably felt it too. I literally wanted to kill my dad at times, like literally. And for us to be where we're at now, it's just you can never imagine a young man. Give your dads and young ladies, give your dads some grace because they bear a lot of things if they're a good man silently for the benefit of everyone in the family, and they're never going to ask for that to be acknowledged or anything like that. But that's oftentimes why they can be short tempered and a little mean or cold seeming. You have no idea the pressures on their shoulders keeping that family going silently.
Yeah, facts, dude. Facts. She said, I don't care for the email. No,
well, Grace, then I'm definitely gonna have him read it to
me. don't offer Nick a good time. So
yeah, I'm gonna have it read to me after this for sure.
Yeah. But again, all seriousness, folks, if you guys want to join the conversation, do hop on, man. We love to have these conversations. We want you guys to hop on. So
Julius, I bet this will maybe pull. If this doesn't pull anybody in, I don't think anything will. We're also, of course, obliged to touch on the ever topical Andrew Tate current situation. He just got done with a major interview with Candace Owens. There's a lot of blowback, and everybody's got an opinion about that. A lot of people are being critical of her, of him. So we might get into that tonight if we have time, or if it seems like something you guys need us to touch on. So happy to talk about that too if we get some people up here, if that's what makes you get up here.
Well, let's talk about that briefly. And I won't get too much into it, but what I'll say is this. For those of you guys who don't know Andrew Tate is a popular person.
Where have you been? You've been living under a rock? You don't know Andrew Tate.
Yeah, he's a very popular person, influencer, entrepreneur.
Last summer, at his peak of his fame, he was Googled more than Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian combined.
Yeah.
At one point. Just so you realize the level of popularity. This guy's a massive influencer of especially young men, but men of all categories. For better or worse, by the way. He's a controversial influencer, and he's being alleged to be involved with some human trafficking kind of things. It seems like a bunch of BS, frankly. They never even stuck him with any charges.
Yeah, it's human trafficking, rape, and organized crime.
And they kept him in jail for many months without actually a trial or any charges actually being stuck, which is totally illegal. But they claim they have a case against him, and regardless, he's certainly a controversial guy. He plays the role. He wears it on purpose and leans into it. I like him. I find him to be a great troll, and I think he's doing it for some interesting reasons. But nevertheless, some people find him very, very off-putting with all that.
Yeah, I'm gonna play you guys the video that everybody keeps sharing about Andrew Tate. Here's the thing. yes, he has a past, and this is what I find funny about this. It ties into relationships and things like that. For our conversations that we have about it, what I find interesting about the Andrew Tate stuff, not so much the interview, but it's the backlash that Candace Owens received. They say that she softballed Andrew Tate, which okay, fair, that can be up for debate. But nonetheless, whether you think she's soft or not, the fact that people are getting upset for her just for giving him a platform, I don't think people should get mad and say she should have never gave him a platform. Why is that? She's a journalist. I think journalists have a right to interview anybody, even if CNN interviewed, I don't know, Osama bin Laden or something. They have a right to
Hitler
do that.
himself.
Yeah,
Dude, I fell asleep to her. I listened to what I would say most of, if not the whole interview, between like falling asleep in and out. And it's easy to criticize people doing interviews from the sideline. Julius and I get it a lot. But I feel that Candace did a great interview in the sense that she kept him comfortable, willing, and eager to engage candidly, which is all you can ask for. She showed him enough respect to get him to want to do that for 3 hours and forthcome with things that nobody else has heard these kind of perspectives from Tate since he's been out of jail. So it's easy to criticize from the sidelines, but unless you're in that spot, I think she did pretty damn good. It was at least informative and entertaining to me.
Yeah, and mind you, people have a right to disagree with her interview with Andrew Tate. That's totally fine. You want to say she softballed him? That's fine too. Even if it is a fact, that's fine. But my opinion is people reacting to her even giving him a platform. That's where I'm coming from. You shouldn't get mad at Candace giving him a platform and then being like, he has a past. He has a past. He was pimping women. He was human trafficking. And then Zuby made this point, which I'm going to read from this woman named Natalie Denise. Now, I do like her content mostly, but she's upset because there's this video, and mind you, this video does have jump cuts. I don't like to trust jump cuts depending on how the video is made. Like sometimes I see man in the street interviews where people would jump cut to different answers that people have. The reason why I don't like jump cuts is because sometimes people can shorten the answer or put the perspective of like how they wanted people to perceive it. I don't like that very much. I'm not down with jump cuts. Like
Perceptive editing, I think they call that.
Exactly. So like I'll do videos where I have a conversation with that person, like a segment. I'll do that. Like if you watch my video, you know that I just do segments of question and then the answer, not question and the cuts and things like that. I don't like to do that. I used to do that before. I'll only do it if I'm giving information, but I don't like doing it when it comes to man in the street because it can easily be manipulated. I just don't like that. I'll still watch it, like, oh, this is happening. But sometimes people cut things off and you go, wait, what was the full answer? Did they say that, or was there more to it? I just don't like that. But
hey, quick shout out, quick plug to my my partner in crime here. That's just one of the many things he's keep putting to mind or making an effort towards when he's bringing his content to you. Which, by the way, not because he's my friend, frankly, because it's that good. I would say I get most, if not damn near all of my news, definitely pop culture and whatnot, from this guy right here. And it's because of these kind of thoughtful approaches. He's not going to edit things. He's purposefully leaving clips unedited or uncut when he puts them out there for everybody to take in because he doesn't want there to be a chance of being misperceived or misconstrued or contorted in a way that is anything but was actually being discussed at the time. And I, for one, greatly appreciate that nowadays when everybody's trying to deceive you in some way, some form, to some ends.
Yeah, and the thing is that that's one of the sacrifices I make. I can easily make content, smash them all together, and it looks like something, but it all depends. Like there are some people that, for example, like I watched this guy Israel Padilla. He's out in Texas. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Daphne. She said I'm enjoying this conversation. I appreciate that, Daphne. Thank you. I watched like Israel Padilla. He's in Texas. He'll like ask questions, but his way of questioning is just like random. So I don't mind the cuts. When it's like certain information and there's cuts, I'm like, I don't trust that. So I bring that up to say this when it comes to Andrew Tate. I know we kind of deviated from the conversation earlier, but I'm trying to bring this up real quick. I think this ties in. We got somebody who popped. Did somebody pop on? We got Caleb who just popped on. What's up, Caleb?
Caleb, nice. The very bright young man. Refreshing to see you. I was like, oh, who's coming up right now? It's Caleb, thank goodness. Woo!
No, what's up? What's up? I'm going to pull up this clip real quick. I just want to show what has been shown with Andrew Tate. Again, I think for me personally, I think this clip does get taken out of context. Maybe not, depending on how you watch it, but I'm going to find it right now.
We want to hear Caleb's fresh hot take, his reaction to it first when we're done. See what Caleb thinks before we skew it with ours.
Yeah.
Caleb, you're in the hot seat, boy. Coming in hot.
Yeah, what I was going to say was I just find it interesting to me that everybody's sharing like this clip, and I honestly think that don't tell me.
Let me guess, it's the one with him and his girlfriend doing some BDSM stuff.
No, I mean people do share that as well, but this person named Milk Bar TV, they shared this like 6-minute video of Andrew Tate talking about what he used to do in the past, of how he got men to basically
lover boy seduce whatever these women into being only cam girls for his company.
Yeah, and I guess in the video he was talking about 6-7 years ago, but people were saying that he was doing it during the pandemic, essentially. My thing is that okay, if he did lie about that, then that's on him. But even if he did something like a year ago, but then a year on knew that it was wrong to do it, there's no timeline of repentance. Somebody could be doing drugs today.
Hey, you're talking to a reformed degenerate from the streets doing all the crime, you name it. So I've been given grace with that as far as society goes. There's reformed even professional hitmen and stuff from the mob who get some respect in society. Why is it that he's not offered that same grace if he's truly reformed and trying to say like this is what I used to do and now I don't recommend it. I try to dissuade kids from getting into that. I don't know. It just seems to me a little.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to this video is here, but I'm trying to get to the one that she shared.
While you're looking for it, Julius, take your time. Caleb, how you been, young man? Thank you. Thank you for joining us, man. It's always refreshing to get you up here. What brings you in tonight? Anything in particular?
I saw the title and figured I'd pop in here.
Any thoughts? Run with it, man. What intrigued you like about the title?
I mean, I think anyone who says like no is like just disconnected from reality. I mean, there is a like subgroup of women that like specifically like are more attracted to married men, are attracted to men who are famous, usually have women around them, portray that lifestyle online through Instagram. So I mean, that's like society around men's image. And
as a young man, in your experience at all, have you ever found it when it rains, it pours, where like you're dating a girl or you're seemingly with a girl, and all of a sudden you're getting even more attention than you would normally expect, and you're like, this has to be because I got a chick on my side?
I'll say, and I'm definitely a minority. I was with the same girl since middle school, so I mean that's not a common thing, but for me, I mean, I'm not going to say that there weren't girls who, when I started, I mean, when I was more public about it, yeah, I mean for sure,
Okay.
But no, I mean, like I said, that's just the culture that's just been bred. I mean, it's the same thing when you look at, I mean, hell, you look at you all talked about the Barbie movie the other week. I mean, that's a large part of, that's a theme that I think a lot of people missed when the Kens actually got into.
Yeah, my stance has changed for Barbie. My stance has changed on it.
Oh, we'll have to get you in a second. Caleb, what were you saying about the Kens take?
Yeah, so when the Kens took power, you can see that inside of like the clips when they took over the Barbie dream house, they had women who were all around the Kens, and when you look, the majority of the movie, or at least at the beginning, it portrayed, hey, you know, the women wanted nothing to do with any of the Kens. You'd never saw, like, it was pretty much the men falling over the Barbies out there.
They were simping for the Barbies, and they were a joke to the Barbies.
And then once they got into a position of power or holding influence, and they
misogynist and toxic and all that.
Sure, yeah, right. Once that happened,
not really, but not really, but
not patriarchy kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a patriarchy, but it wasn't like toxic or anything.
Sure, yeah. So once they realized that, though, they're like, you notice there that they had like all the girls that were sitting around all of the Kens. Some of them were, if you look, were sitting on the laps and stuff like that. So I mean, like, influence and power have a huge impact on, I would say, on that, and the influence that a lot of men get, especially when they are high net worth individuals. Sometimes comes from their
allure to win.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, you look at, I mean, there are women who like fawn over people like Channing Tatum, right? Like he has like almost a cult like following, and a lot of the women in that group like all go after him. And a large part of it is due to the fact that everybody.
He's a homosexual, am I not mistaken?
I don't know.
I don't want to defame him. I honestly remember hearing that.
I don't really follow celebrity news. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I haven't heard anything like that at all.
Yeah, I ain't up on the gays currently, so.
I mean, I will say that he did do a scene in the movie This Is the End where he was basically somebody's bitch. Sorry for my language, but he was
maybe that's why I think he's gay, because I do remember that role.
Yeah, and he like bent over. It was a pretty gay scene. So,
Julius, before I lose sight of it, what is your new take on Barbie?
Yeah, so the more I thought about it, I think the reason why I reacted the way I did because it did look like it was this kind of feminist movie because it started off with, and one thing that I forget to realize too is how movies take. Especially movies like that, a Barbie movie, they take art from other things. Like when it first, I guess, when I understand, when it first starts off, it starts off like Space Odyssey, but it's with a little girl playing with the dolls versus the monkey of the things like that. Like I guess in Space Odyssey is a monkey and like banging his bone.
Yeah, the cosmonaut Russian monkey. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how it starts off in the Barbie movie. So it's the little girl, with these dolls that's like mother, but then they see this new women come in and they're like smashing the dolls, and then it becomes this whole thing where like females can do it all. They can be lawyers, they can be doctors, this and that, and so there's this basically Barbie land is like a matriarchy, and all the men are submissive to the woman, and Barbie starts to feel something, and she's wondering why she's feeling this type of way. So she goes to the real world, and when she goes to that real world, it's not the matriarchy as they thought. To her, it's the patriarchy, but Ken loves it because he's finally getting recognized, whereas he didn't get recognition like that in Barbie Land. His whole day, what made him feel good is if Barbie recognized him, like kind of like, just gave him like one compliment. That was like his whole thing, but he didn't get recognized like the way he did in the patriarchal world. So to kind of see that difference, and then Barbie speaks to the woman because the woman that used to own her as a child, she felt her like depression and things like that as an adult. She was a child. And the child kind of like this rebel who was like, oh, Barbie, it's because of you. Why, these, to paraphrase it, like this,
you're the reason I became a radical communist by high school.
Well, yeah, because it was like these expectations that Barbie had that made women think a certain way. It's like, I can't look like that. So, it's going to be like this.
And Barbie's a representation of the awful capitalist society that we have to fight to destroy.
Something like that. But having Barbie kind of, sense that, because in her world, everything's perfect. And then she meets somebody with a difference of opinion, and that hurts her. So when the mom and the daughter go to Barbie Land, they see that the Ken's brought back, like Ken was loving all the patriarchy, so he brought that back to Barbie Land. When he goes back to Barbie Land, he basically turns it into the patriarchy. Matter of fact, there's even a scene where the black woman who was the president in the Barbie Land, she even says, like, you know what? I actually like not being the president. Like, I like being, basically this submissive woman and whatnot. But the chick who came from the outside world to Barbie Land, she's like going this whole little rant of like, it's hard to be a woman because you can be a boss, but don't be too mean. You can do this, but then don't do that. So this whole entire rant. And like Barbie gets it and she understands it. So she's basically trying to convince the women in Barbie that they have to unbrainwash them from the men's patriarchy. But at the very end of the day, Barbie realizes like, it's so perfect here. I want to be in a world where I actually have freedom of choice versus just being in this one kind of one tone way of thinking. You know what I mean? So to me, I would say it was more of a Ken movie than it was a Barbie movie because it's about.
Julius, did you go see it again? Or be honest with
No. This is just me opening my mind to different reviews because I noticed that we all, us conservatives, we all reacted the same way. So I wanted to see a difference of opinion. And when I did, I was like, that actually makes a lot more sense. Not because that person said it in a convincing way, but it just made me open my mind and go, yeah, that is true. Because this did happen. And then this did happen. And that did happen. So it made me go, wow, maybe this movie wasn't so, woke as I thought it was. Maybe, I think it was more of a mockery, in my opinion. Like it's more anti-woke. And so what's interesting to me was that this was the first movie that wasn't like a superhero. It wasn't like action packed. It was bright colors. The set was nice. It was almost like watching like a Broadway play. And the more I think about it, because not gonna lie, even when I was watching it, I was like, I kind of like this movie, not because I'm some beta male, but I like it because it was different, like superheroes and Mission Impossible and like that, like all these type of superhero action-packed movies. It was so different from that it was actually a breath of fresh air, which is why I think it made a lot of money because it was something different. And it wasn't again, it wasn't woke. It was just more of like kind of.
You did.
World.
What happens when you
she
drop
was like
yourself
the feminists we always see at like the rallies and whatnot, the protests.
You cut out for half a second.
Don't drop the soap.
Oh, definitely don't want to drop that. Restate your last sentence because you cut out.
Yeah, no. What I was just saying was just that it's. I don't think it's woke. I think it was more anti-woke. I think that to me, it was basically kind of showing what life is like in the real world, like how we deal with things in the real world. That's why when the mother came from the real world to the Barbie world, she's spouting off about this whole, it's hard to be a woman, you can be a boss babe, you can be this, and reminding me of like the women that we see like the rallies and whatnot. It's always just spouting off these feminist ideologies and things like that. You know what I mean? Like it reminded me of that.
Telling women how to get a man when they're single at age 40 or 50. Telling the younger girls how to get them.
Like something. Yeah, like something to like that degree. I mean, the woman in the movie was married. She wasn't like this single mom. She was married, but just the idea of that just reminded me of how things are like in reality. So to me, I do think that it was a good movie because again, it was something different. Like I haven't seen a movie with bright colors like that in a long time, or like a nice, perfect set like that. It did give me more of a Broadway play kind of vibe. So I don't know. I liked it. I'm not gonna like try to be this beta male, like, oh, I'm a Team Barbie. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I think the idea was to show that people want this perfect world, but then they realize that maybe it's not what they want. Because again, if one is being lifted than the other and there's no equality, then what is that exactly? Because if it's Barbie Land, it's a matriarchy and all the men are submissive, and then the men come in and bring their patriarchy, all the women are submissive, then it's like
there needs to be an appreciative balance that's working together, or else it's not going to work it's not fair for either side, let alone going to work. Caleb, with Julius's updated perspective on it, do you have any thoughts? Can you hear where he's coming from? Does that make you think any more about it? And by the way, I just want to preface this by saying, yes, folks, we've heard it all about you guys coming at us for covering Barbie to this extent. If you ever gave it a chance and you trust us at all, you would see that there's actually a subplot here that is very relevant and it brings up a lot of topics that are relevant to the show. So, Caleb, please go on with any thoughts.
I don't know. My perspective on it still hasn't changed. I mean, I suppose if you're looking at it from, just the right angle, you hold it up to the sun just in the right position, you might be able to kind of draw, like, I can see where Julius is coming from, but I think that I'm going to be honest, like, it would require me to overlook like all the facts of that movie, like looking at the casting, looking at who the director was, looking at their past movies, what they've said on social media, and ultimately like what they have portrayed, like, and said the messages. When you look at like the director cuts and whatnot, like it was by all accounts intended to be a movie that was highlighting all of the things that are perceived as what's wrong with men across the world, and how traditional traits amongst men are toxic. And that was my grab from it. What's up?
Did you watch the movie?
I watched clips. You
gotta watch the movie. If you watch it, that's what I'm saying. You gotta watch. See, it's easy to say those things if you watch the movie. So you gotta watch the movie to know the full scope of it.
So I'll give you an example though. Like, if you look when the Kens came back into Barbie Land, look at the way they portrayed them taking power as like this outrageous thing. Like, I mean, look at what Ken was wearing in that scene. He had the fur coat on and everything. And
a pimp suit.
Yeah, like exactly. Like
that was base.
It was. But when you think about that, that's the imagery that they're trying to present. Like, again, traditional men. I mean, what I saw throughout the movie, and like, granted, everyone can get their own like perspective from it depending on how you look at it, was that, hey, like that. I mean, you took it a different way, but the director, like on the director cuts, was saying, hey, we made this so outrageous, so unbelievable to show what many women in America feel like modern men traditional men are presenting themselves.
If left to their own ends, they go off.
As these authoritarian dictators, essentially.
Well, hey, to Julius's point, if we can allegedly locate a copy to stream live in my server at some point throughout this week, would you guys be willing to endure that with me? Because I trust Julius's take, and I was never even going to give this movie a chance, but now I almost feel like I gotta. Maybe Caleb will get you. Anybody else out there that wants to man up to the Barbie experience? We'll all have some drinks or something. Whatever it takes to get you guys to endure this movie.
Yeah, Caleb's not wrong. I mean, it is noteworthy to look at what the director is saying, because I did see interviews about the feminists take and what they thought on it. They did want it to be a feminist movie, but not in a way where it's radical. That's why in the beginning of the movie, spoiler alert, but even in the beginning of the movie with Barbie Land, it was almost like everything was always perfect. Like, even that was like absurd that women were always perfect, because at the end of the day, Barbie could have chose to stay in Barbie world in the matriarchy, but instead she chose what society deems as the patriarchy. She chose the real world because she wanted to have a choice to kind of be herself. That's why it was funny, because at the end of the movie, like in the movie, the Barbies and Ken, they don't have like genitals. So at the end of the movie, when she goes to the real world, the first place she goes to is a doctor, her gynecologist. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like she has no vagina because she wants to experience what it's like to be like a mother and things like that. So I hear what you're saying about what the interviews were. I get that. And
wait a minute. What did you say? She did what?
Yeah. So if you think about it, right, the Barbies and Kens don't have genitals. They have no vagina.
She went to the gynecologist in the Barbie movie.
Because she went to the real world, that's why. She became an actual
human. To do what? To prove or what?
She didn't say it, but she went to the gynecologist. Like she wanted to get checked, because now she's in the, because when she was a Barbie, she didn't have that. So when she's in the real world, now she has that. Why? Because she wants to experience what it's like to eventually be a mother. So I would argue,
it isn't too personal to ask, and if it is, just forget I asked. But has your daughter or any young ladies around that age expressed any interest in this movie? Did they actually see it or know or care about it?
I think my daughter, if it was on like TV, like if it was on like Netflix or something like that, she'll probably watch it.
But
But
right now, it's not like something that's jumping out to her, like I got to do this, or you hear her talking about it or anything.
yeah, no. Yeah, it's not. But I think she does want to see it just for her own sake because it's new. It's something to watch. You know what I mean? I think she would, but she's not like if she watched it, she wouldn't be like turn off feminist. Like my daughter's actually pretty base. Like she's really pretty base, and so she
No, I
gets.
know she is, and that's why I wanted to hear if I'm refreshed. It's refreshing to hear that a young lady that's as well together as her is not like eagerly going to seek this movie out and see it right now. Like she'll see it if and when it comes across her path, but she's not desperately. Yeah, you see Fabion's comment. I'll see you there, Fabian. Anybody listening?
Yeah.
Never would we watch anything we paid for.
I mean, I watch all my movies for free, but it's all legal.
I am not associated with this man, FBI, or anybody else who might be on the line.
I know people say I'm like committing the crime. But yeah, I mean,
I got out of the criminal life, and you're going to get me dragged right back into the clink, Julius.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that this movie doesn't have feminist attributes and the way that they perceive men. I think the reason why they perceived it like that, like when when the Kins came back, Caleb, you mentioned when the Kins came back. I think the reason why they did it like that is because this is what society views, and it's not really like that. You know what I mean? Which is why I think Barbie chose the real world in the end. She could have stayed in the matriarchy where it's all about the Barbie. They're always awesome. That's why every morning they will always say, "You look good, Barbie. You look good." Like everything was always perfect. Matter of fact, it's interesting because even in that world, there was a pregnant Barbie, but she was always overlooked because nobody played with a pregnant Barbie. So they kind of disrespected motherhood, which is why I think Barbie left to the real world because she didn't want to be in that world where motherhood gets ignored and things like that. So she goes to the real world and wants to experience life as a human being. Like that's why, in matter of fact, real quick, there's one scene where she goes to the real world and she sits down because she's not getting praised like she would in the Barbie land. So she goes to the real world and gets, talked down to by the daughter. She sits down, she's looking at people. She sees people are happy, people are arguing, there's old people. Like she's seeing a bunch of the world to make her wonder, like, maybe I was wrong about this perfect world. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think to me, that's like poetic almost.
Thoughts, Caleb? Go ahead, take it away, buddy.
All right, I'll give the alternative theory here, which is that her going to the gynecologist is a subtext message for feminist America to talk about. Recognizing abortion as reproductive.
I knew you were going to go down. I knew you were going to say that too.
Because look, I mean, they it wasn't like she went in there and like she had a baby bump. She wasn't showing or anything. Like they had an ample opportunity. Like I feel like if that was the message that they were leaving, that they were like, Barbie left, this crazy Barbie world where, pregnant Barbies were being discounted. I mean, no, when you look at it, it actually, like, you look at when the scene when she's in that white, that screen where it's her and the Barbie, Mattel, who made Mattel, who founded Mattel. She went and she asked her, she was like, well, I don't know. What am I going to do? Well, you can do anything, Barbie. It's up to you. And so she goes and I'm
going to get my vagina checked.
She leaves Barbie Land, and then that's the first thing she goes to do. I don't know. To me, I feel like I could make a more compelling argument that they're fast forwarding and saying, well, look, Barbie is supporting reproductive rights and health, and here's her going to the clinic. And we don't know. They left it alone. Because
they're supporting a girl getting touched up by a hot doctor every freaking few months. That's not her man. That's what that message is.
Because think about it, Julius. Right? Like it to me, like they like I said, they had an opportunity to say, oh man, she's going and she's starting a family, she's doing family planning and all that stuff. But I'm just saying she could have been getting an Think about it. She
No,
could have been
you
getting an
never did.
IUD.
Did she have an abortion, Caleb? Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, no. So think about this also, right? If now because in Barbie Land they don't have genitals. Now that they do, she could have been going there to get an IUD planted, a naloxone implant.
Bro, did Barbie get a silent abortion in the movie, Caleb? Is that what you're hinting at?
Hey, I'm just saying.
If that
I'm
was the
just
case,
saying.
no, if that was the case, then pregnant Barbie would have left with her and said, "I need to get rid of this baby."
They left it open, Julius.
I
It's a
just saying.
possibility. Caleb's
Caleb.
saying.
Listen, I don't disagree with you. I think that's a fantastic. Like, no. It's like I'm not gonna say like, no, you're wrong. I watched the movie, Caleb. We're gonna go argue back and forth.
Oh, yeah,
No, it's not like that. Like, I'm actually intrigued to that theory because that could be a slippery slope, as we always say, to open that door of like reproductive health care, IUDs, things like that. Yeah, I totally get it. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the route they was going.
Granted, I'm just speculating. So like no one sit there and say, well, Caleb said that Barbie is talking about abortion. I didn't say any of that. All I'm saying is that with the casting and the director and the message they were putting across, I would consider it in my head more likely that one of those scenarios be the case. Probably maybe a allusion to birth control, like actual birth control. And her going to the clinic now that she has genitals to do that, so that she can live that boss girl free lifestyle and go out into the world and do her thing.
Barbie got an IUD implanted and it got infected after a few years, and now she's a miserable, sterile plastic piece of dude. This is the side you won't see in Barbie movie. Caleb is digging deep for you guys. You gotta stop Barbie with surface level, man. You didn't realize it's only on the age of men are you gonna get takes like this.
Yeah. We got Megan. What's up, Megan? She said the answer is no. Men aren't desirable. Women like Biden, but he can't get with me. Hey, Megan, hop on, Megan. The link here. I'll put
Who likes Biden?
Megan,
like
you
I don't even think his wife likes him like that.
You fail to understand the disgusting level the internet goes to. There's
some freaks out there for Biden.
There are people out there.
Who do you think it would have more freaks simping for them, Biden or Trump?
What's up?
Who do you think would have more freaks simping for them on the internet, Biden or Trump?
Oh, I mean Trump. Trump had
Trump
more.
Walk up and grab him by the pee.
I mean, he had more. It was proof. I mean, look at his early life and look at Biden's early life.
Bro, his wife's a supermodel to that end. I mean, I think that alone kind of sums it up.
I'm just saying, like, don't get me wrong.
And then look at Joe Biden. I rest my case.
I mean, there's I don't know.
Joe Biden is in no way, shape, or form. And Caleb is a hell of a debater when he wants to be. I don't think even he could make a good debate that Joe Biden is in any way attractive.
Oh no. He is like I've long held, like, I'm gonna be honest, and
Jill, his wife.
I've gotten controversy. I've gotten like pushback on this, and not a lot of people agree with me. But I'm gonna drop one of my like most unpopular opinions that I firmly believe that if you are over the age of 50 years old, you should not be able to run for president.
Hot take, but actually, there's some merit to that kind of thinking. Some sort of age cap.
That actually might be agreeable, actually. Because,
you are. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Trump. No, I was gonna say Trump is.
No, I was just gonna. Yeah, I was just gonna say you're once you hit that age, you are more susceptible to memory-related degenerative disorders. You're more susceptible to Alzheimer's and whatnot. Like there are a lot of degenerative disorders that you are more prone to once you start to get older, and that stuff only starts to show as you get older. So you can run a campaign, everyone can talk about, well, look, Biden was doing this, when he was in Congress. I'm like, yeah, that's when he was in Congress. He's
that was when he was a different brain, like 50 years ago, a different person.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, here's the one. I guess you can take it as a pro thing, a pro comment for Biden. The Biden who had oral debates in Congress versus the Biden that we have as president today are two different people, and no one can tell me differently. Even though I agree with
literally, I propose this as a conspiracy theory after the first debate with Trump, because I watched him closely on the campaign trail, and he couldn't. I'm not even saying this like to be mean, but literally he couldn't get out two coherent sentences in a row. The guy was going through some sort of senile old man shit. And then on the debates, he wasn't seemingly intelligent or anything against Trump, but he managed to somehow hold his own and not get totally punked out by Trump. Ever since then, I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't think that's Joe Biden.
So I'll say this. I mean, and I'll even be consistent. Everybody knows I talk crap about Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell had a moment. Okay, I don't know if anybody watched the interview, the press conference that he was at. He froze, and I don't care what anyone says. He's showing textbook signs of like, yeah, his age is starting to become a problem. And to me, like, I feel like, huh?
I mean, I don't want to like get too much into politics, but if you notice, even with Dianne Feinstein, however you say her last name,
yeah, absolutely.
Even with her, they had the culture to vote yes.
Bro, dude, like, to Caleb's point, you're always going to be facing some sort of cognitive decline as you get into a senior status. Also, there's more to it. You're entrenching yourself as a career politician by that point, more likely. You're out of the general age average of the populace and therefore out of touch. You've established a life for yourself by that point. You're not feeling the struggles of the common man necessarily.
Yeah,
there's countless reasons to have some sort of age cap.
And it's not, I've gotten pushback from people saying, "Oh, that's ageist." You're.
Then call me ageist, man.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you want to call me ageist, then call me ageist. Fine,
I've been called worse.
But it is a fact. You can ask and read the latest studies in neuroscience and the studies around neurodegenerative disorders. Like, you are more prone to that stuff when you're older. And I'm gonna be honest. Anyone who is at high risk of of experiencing neurodegeneration should not be responsible for our nuclear arsenal. They should not be responsible for making decisions that are ultimately going to affect countless lives.
Well, speaking of neurological and psychology and the brain psyche, I want to understand why women.
Wow, way to bring it full circle, partner.
Oh, I want to understand.
I didn't mean to hijack.
No, good move.
Yeah, no, it's good. I just want to deviate too much on politics. I want to kind of get the conversation.
Sure.
No, bro, take it. We gotta bring it back to the top of the show. Good call.
So earlier, we were talking about, you had a good point earlier too, Caleb, when you first came on. You said that anybody that denies the reality that men are more attractive when other women are desiring them and not living in reality. What I find funny is I noticed that you can see it where if you get like a bunch of women and let's say one guy comes in, I'll even argue 5 women, right? You get 5 women and one guy comes in and then they say, would you sleep with this guy? And then let's say the guy was just like handsome enough. And one girl was like, I wouldn't. And then the friend next to her is like, I would. And then the girl who said no, kind of like, yeah, I think I would. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They kind of have this where if the friend would do it, because their friend wants to
look, the girls are going to shoot holes in this like crazy, calling it subjective. But I see where you're coming from, bro, for sure.
Right. But my point is that when we talk about if women desire men more when they're desired by other women, look at how a female would say, I would, versus the woman who said, I wouldn't. Now the chick who said, I wouldn't is saying, okay, maybe I would, because she desires that guy. And she's wondering why, well, how does he get my friend? What makes him attractive? Maybe I should get with this guy. I'm going to play a video from Instagram.
And then there's fear of missing out syndrome incorporated into that, FOMO. Like, my girlfriend's going to get a good catch and I'm not. Like, all sorts of shit.
So like I said at the beginning, the home wreck. So like this is like an actual thing. The home wrecker like kink is a real thing. That is a real thing. There is a subgroup of women across America and outside the country who specifically seek out married men because they are attracted to the feeling of, oh wow, someone else wants him, but I need to have him.
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
Also, too, it's the whole like we're about to get caught. There's just thrill about my god, we're sneaking around. It's kind of like when you tell your child you can't go out at night, but they sneak out because it's like, ooh, I just did this, so I'm gonna do it anyways.
Full circle Andrew Tate kind of idea right here. If I was like that kind of awful mindset, making money off sex and shit on the internet. I would make an app, a hookup app for homewreckers called Homewrecker Hookups.
Oh my gosh. But I'm telling you, people would use it. You think I'm joking, but it is a real thing. I mean, you see it all the time when there are celebrities who find out when they find out because the person who their man is cheating with, the woman sends videos to her to that guy's wife or his significant other to break it up. If I can't have him, no one can have him. The fact that there are certain men that are desired by women, especially when there is a commitment factor like marriage.
Yeah.
Stop it.
That wedding ring, man.
Stop. I'm serious. That people think it's a joke when in movies, and to be clear, to the female population out there, if it doesn't apply, it doesn't apply.
Caleb, I just said all this at the beginning of the show. I was even talking this specific topic when I said it. Go on, young man.
Yeah, if it doesn't apply, it doesn't apply. But
generally speaking, people, if the shoe don't fit, don't try to wear it.
Yeah, let's not play and say that there aren't women out there who will notice a wedding ring and see that and go after even more.
Bro, it's pretty well established psychologically time and again that more women than not, is how I would word it from the studies I've read, are subconsciously attracted to a man with a wedding ring compared to a man without. More attracted, I'll say. More women than not. It's pre-selection bias is what they call it in psychology. And it's just this very, I mean, there's an explanation for it that makes total sense for evolutionary psychology, but yeah. It's just a fact. If you want to ignore that or whatever, you're ignoring nature and biology and freaking psychology from evolution state. You can do that all you want, but then I would say you're a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19.
I'm gonna pull the video here, and this guy basically asks the lady, "It's like, if I wasn't gay, would you still date me?" So here's that video here, and watch how the ladies react.
If I wasn't gay, would you sleep with me?
Probably not.
Second girl just looked him up and down, but she's about to see it.
You have really pretty eyes.
Do it.
You have really pretty eyes.
Thanks.
I'd sleep with you.
Thanks.
Thanks. I bet he's straight. He's like,
I suppose I'd sleep
now?
with you. I would. Can I say how many shots it would take for me to sleep with you? I would take 4 shots.
So basically, he's
let's go to the bar. I'm buying all night right now.
Yeah,
you're straight, and he just turned it on. I'm not gonna dime like that. Trying to pick him up.
But basically, yeah,
that's
so basically
that's a gimmick, bro. Be gay. Ask that opening question. Hey, would you have sex with me if I wasn't gay? And then if you start getting a girl to nibble at it, be like reveal somehow in a shocking way that you're actually straight and making a mac on her.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I wouldn't
content
go
right there.
Yeah,
and then at the very end, you don't want to do the degenerate fucking hookup. So what you do is smash it in her face and be like, "Look, sorry, hon, I have to break your whole illusion of fantasy here because it's degenerate to be behaving this way. This was all a setup."
I'd never get to that level, but
this is all a setup. I did it at your expense to expose you on the internet for being a harlot, aka a whore. And maybe this will be your lesson learned. You didn't actually have to whore out. I could have whored you out.
Well, what I found
I'm doing this for you.
About that video. I mean, what I found interesting is that he asked her. He said, "If I wasn't gay, would you sleep with me?" And the first chick said no. But then the next chick was like, "Well, I don't know." And she's like, "Well, you have pretty eyes." She goes, "I would."
And right to your point, the first girl was instantly on. Then she "Well, you do have pretty eyes." Yep.
Exactly. So I found that interesting to me how she just denied him right off the bat. But the moment a friend wanted him, now she wanted him.
And I saw it coming, Julius. The second she started, when asked, she looked him up and down. I was like, "Oh, the yes is coming." And then her friend turned right away. Perfect.
That's what I'm saying. So it goes to show, it goes to show that women do want men when they're it's a pre-selection bias. They want men who are desired by other women because it shows that something about that man, like there's something about him, and he stands out. Again, like he's maybe tall, in shape, especially whatever the case may be. He got things together, and that's why she wants to be with him because he looks like he got things together. She's obviously with him for a reason, and that makes women curious about that reason.
Certainly
I
not
mean,
because he likes to f men in the butt.
I'll say this. I mean, there are there are women who specifically seek out like police officers. You got badge bunnies out there who specifically look for men that are in law enforcement, firefighters, and whatnot. There's entire cultural sensation driven around men like that. And I mean, hell, why do people think that fire departments fundraise and make a ton of money off of firefighter calendars when you got firefighters who got their shirts off and everything, got the hoses?
Bag fighter of the month.
Hey, I'm serious. It's a real thing.
Dude, you're right. You're Caleb. I've seen it before, and I can only imagine now it's probably more prevalent than ever.
Yeah,
but it's to me, it's a level of status because when an officer, he's the officer of the law. I mean, he's protecting his servant, like on the basic level, aside from like police brutality, aside from the politics stuff, he's protecting servant. So she already sees a protector. Well, firefighters, same thing. She sees a protector. He's putting out flames. He's saving lives.
Badge bunnies don't care nothing about
flaming firefighters. I got a gay fucking calendar right there for him, dude. I'm an idea man, right?
Badge bunnies don't care.
Bag fighters.
Badge bunnies don't care what the media says about police officers.
Flaming bag fighters.
They don't.
Grace's comment says
bag fighters says nothing.
I mean, I'm sure women buy gay calendars, but at the same time, I don't know. Grace says, I swear to God that my husband gets more when he wears his wedding ring than when he doesn't at work. Some of the girls, I think she's trying to say.
Some of the world he has to take his ring off or else it hurts his hand or
something like that.
Some of the world?
Yeah,
somewhere in the world, maybe.
Well,
yeah. Well, I mean, basically, I think what she's saying is that basically her husband gets hit on when he has the ring on, but then doesn't when he has his ring off. But that's what I mean is because when they see the ring, they're thinking like, well, this guy he's married, he must have it all. Like she must have married him for a reason. He must have it all together.
Let me ask Grace a follow up to that. Hey, Grace, as his wife, his mate. How does that make you feel? It's going to make you feel a couple different ways. Because on the one hand, you don't want women like more eager for your man, right? So that would make you lean towards, hey, I would prefer my husband to like downplay or maybe even not wear it if he didn't have to at times. But then again, that's your wedding ring. That's the freaking symbol of your union, and that's yours only. So you got to like almost double down once you realize, like, no, I'm not going to make my husband take that off. I want him to be proud and showing it up. I'd be interested to hear your insights on the psyche of that situation.
It's so.
Caleb, you got a thought?
Yeah. So like the ring, to Julius's point, to a lot of women is evidence of social validation. There is a woman out there who found that this man had the characteristics that she deemed were acceptable to her and met her standards in order to enter into a union with someone who, I mean, by all accounts, plans on forming a lifelong relationship and living happily ever after, like the fairy tales say. And I mean, that's a huge thing. I mean, you look at like the psychology aspect of it, though. Like you have like things like you have attachment disorders. There are people out there who like get seen by psychologists because they've developed attachment disorders to people who are emotionally and romantically unavailable. They're like it's a fact
because we all want what we can't have. Psychology again has proven this in many different ways. But the harder the girl, the more this applies, in my strong opinion, because they always get what they want in life early on. Like anybody will cater to them. They can make their looks work towards their own ends to almost get whatever they want. So when they can't, especially the one guy that can't be bothered to notice they exist, let alone cater them, suddenly in their mind they start thinking, everybody knows I exist. Everybody wants me. I'm going to make him notice I exist. I'm going to make him want me. If you play your cards right, you got yourself fucking 10.
Yeah.
I was going to address this comment too where Stella said, I had a friend who liked men in uniform, even like the UPS dude. I think the reason why, I mean, it could be like a biology thing to like men, in uniform, but I think it's because they see that if he's in uniform, it shows that like he has a decent job. Like they see that the finance aspect of it. Like, okay, he works, UPS, or he's a police officer, he's a firefighter, he works for the state, whatever the case may be. He's in a suit, so he must make at least between like 75K to 100K. So they look at like it's like women kind of see this long-term thing. It's like if he has a woman and he's like, she's happy with him, she sees that,
it's the professional man. It's the blue collar career man.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's levels to where like she's
a reliable, dependable, stoic, protector, provider, provisioner, archetype. It's like,
exactly. Yeah.
So not to mention, there's probably been a few too many corny pornos made with that kind of theme.
Sure, but I'm saying like this add-on. I don't know about the whole porn thing, but
I think that factors in for sure. Go ahead.
Looking at like, you look at correctional facilities. They've done like studies. Like, I know here in Texas, they've done studies on the amount of people who go in to correctional facilities and end up getting divorced and finding their new spouse inside of correctional facilities. Other COs, not inmates.
No homosexual shit. It's just
like other COs. Like there are like it's a real thing. Like the gray the gray wave. Same thing with the blue wave. Around men in positions like that. So I'll say this though, as a caveat to the question, I will say that if this is like a two-part thing. So are men more desirable when desired by other women? Men aren't desirable when they don't hold class or standing within that social group or community. Men become desirable once women see that a man holds a position inside of that group that they deem holds worth, holds value.
Especially when it's the intimate mate of a woman that they consider to be of
and whether or not it's a career or finances, it doesn't. I'd argue it's not necessarily just restricted to just like blue collar professions and stuff like that. Whether or not whatever job it is, hey, are people talking about this guy? Does he?
There it is. Yeah, perceived reputation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's all I'm saying. So it's always like status with men. If there's a certain level of status with him that gets recognizable, she's gonna see that. That's why I would argue, Caleb. Like if you look at and I hate to say this, bluntly, but like dudes in the hood, right? They got girls. They probably, I'm just saying like dudes in the hood, dudes.
All right, I get it, Julius.
Homeboys, gangsters.
I get it, Julius.
I mean, you see like dudes in the hood, like they may get other women, but it's not like they're getting the upper echelon. Like they're just getting what's in their area. You know what I mean? Like they're getting
for long term either. Really, if they do, it's in a very unhealthy way for both. Usually,
it's unhealthy, but within their area, like you look at the psychology of living inside of the hood, right? There a large part of it is a mentality. And
And there's just to your point, Caleb, there is a hierarchy of renown, respect, authority in the area. And so if that's all the women could ever attain or get, can't get out of that, they're going to work up that hierarchy the best they can.
For sure. Like, I mean, you get women who people underestimate the role that women actually play inside of these security threat groups, these gangs. Like when they get in on the inside, gaining an attraction to high level ranking members.
They seduce the princes and presidents of the world.
There are female sicarios. People throw all this stuff off, and that's not me saying I'm not endorsing any of this. It's the dynamics though.
I can speak to that firsthand, Caleb. Some of my tighter homegirls who I was with in some miserable spots in the street, stuff like that, they played the game to an end that
absolutely.
I mean, they could literally freaking almost sweet talk or charm or use feminine ways, anything out of near any man of influence or power that they set their target on.
Absolutely. And then people sit there and then question, and they're like, why do criminals get why is there such a large romantic attraction or maybe infatuation with the lifestyle or the man behind the crime. And I mean, look at Ted Bundy. Look at these like sociopath, these
Look
killers.
at what's his face? Charles Manson had a clique of women willing to go savagely murder for him.
When you have a man that is charismatic, is able to utilize that and to build social influence within a small community. It doesn't even have to be a large community. You don't have to be a celebrity.
Especially if he's willing to manipulate and lie.
Yeah, if you have someone who is able to lie, steal, and cheat, and who is capable of emotionally manipulating the rest of the populace, it's so easy. People like yes, are humans complicated in that, you know, we are more complicated than animals in terms of our the way of how we process things, how we conceptualize things. Yes, but when it comes to like attraction, there's no complicatedness there.
It's a primitive as 101, like back to the beginning, frankly, if you ask me, as far as evolutionary psychology goes. It's all about nature. We're not our modern comforts and whatnot are not going to overcome the nature that's been programmed into us for tens of thousands of years to survive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, man, this has been a hell of a show, by the way, Julius.
Yeah, Caleb, I heard the noise back there. I heard the little zzz. Yeah, I heard some noise in the background, like somebody was like a car in the background. Did you guys hear that? I thought I heard a car in the background. I thought I heard something, but I thought it was Caleb.
Oh,
well,
no.
Julius, it was a sound effect, bro. It was our first sound effect in a while.
No, seriously. No, yeah. This is the reason why I wanted to cover this topic because I always like to I always say the Age of Men podcast when we talk about differences between male and female. And that's kind of what the core of this podcast is about, is trying to understand that dynamic. Like, why are men like this? Why are females like this? And having conversation, because when you got men out there who want to, get women and they're not getting women, they call them incels, men who are virgins and things like that. Like they say 1 in 3 men are not having sex. I know I've used
What's that mean for the layman out there? Incel. What is an incel? Involuntary celibate, right?
Yeah, involuntary celibate. Basically, what they're saying is that these are men who are upset that they're not able to even
get laid, no matter how hard they may try.
No. Yeah, no. Involuntary celibate, how they're framing it is that these are men who are upset because women are not approaching them, so therefore they're just doing away with women. But
they decide to wear it as a badge of honor for some reason, as if that's like a good PR move.
Yeah. Well, but my thing is that I don't think men should, and I think that's the problem, is that even when you call them involuntary celibate, I don't think men should be focused on whether or not they're sleeping with chicks or not. I know, like the red pill said, you gotta sleep with lots of women to understand female nature. I just disagree with that. I don't think you have to. Before I lost I kind of knew female nature just by looking at or interacting with women, just seeing how they are. Matter of fact, I'll give you an example. When I was in high school, I know I'm bringing up high school, but when I was in high school, there was this chick. I'm not trying to throw her under the bus. I'm just showing you like what her attraction.
I'm gonna tag her after this.
Well, I mean, no, I'm not gonna say her name, but there's this chick. So I had a bunch of
bro. You know my boy Adam, by the way. I don't mean to interrupt, but you know my boy Adam that comes on live with us sometimes. He's twice done that to chicks, and I'm like, bro, I'm definitely tagging her. Like he's called about like online,
I'm not gonna use names, but what I was saying is that I had a bunch of guy friends, and this chick, she did date some of my friends, and thinking about it now, I know why she dated those guys. There's a certain level of status. With me, I was always that I didn't see you that way guy because I was too nice. I was the nice guy. I was just doing what I was taught to respect people.
And knowing that, Julius, would you advise your younger self any differently approaching women?
I mean, look, if I can go back in that time, and what I wouldn't do is approach her to ask her to be my girlfriend. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't do that, because if she didn't see any interest in me, but I found interest in her, it's not going to work out. I agree with Myron Gaines. I heard him say this before, and I've heard other men say this too, but I agree with Myron when he says that women should like you more than you like her. And I agree with that, because if she finds you attractive, now the ball's in your court. The reason why they say men are the ones who have access to relationships, because once the ball is in your court, you have that control on whether or not you want to be with this woman or not. So if she's more attracted to you, and then you know that, now you can approach her and say, oh, okay, well, let's go out on a date. Now you can set yourself a date. If
You know that's
go,
a super hot take for women to handle, right? You know you're going to get some blowback for that one.
Maybe so, but I mean, I know women will say, well, men should be the one that approach. Sure, they can shoot their shot. Nothing wrong with that. But and there's nothing wrong with a man shooting a shot. But I still think that if she's not interested, if you're more interested in her than she is you, it's not going to work, because she's only going to see you a certain way, or not that way at all. So if
You're saying you have to have her pursuing you, not the other way around, for there to be any like substantial long-term success.
Yeah, I mean, somewhat pursue. Yeah. So like, okay, look, for example, let's say all three of us went to the club, right? And we're all looking nice, we're all smelling good, haircuts, things like that. And then let's just say out of the three of us, like there's one chick who's eyeballing me because I'm not hella goofy. Ooh. I'm not doing like goofy stuff. I'm just like chilling, like laughing, having a good time.
I mean, Caleb like nerding out about like World of Warcraft or some shit in the corner.
But she seemed like our jester, right? I'm just super calm, chill. Like I got like a drink in my hand.
So it's like, who's these two clowns? Who brought them? I don't know. They're not my friends.
I know. I don't know these guys. No, but like she sees me, and then let's say like, you know, I can catch her eyeballing me. If I catch her eyeballing me, I will go approach her, because clearly she's interested in me. So now I approach her. She's like, oh my God, he's coming to approach me. Like, it's like excitement, because now I'm approaching, because I'm seeing that she's giving me choosing signals. You get what I'm saying? So
Heard a great quote about that. Tell me if this resonates with you or not. So back in the day, for a woman to be picked by a man, she had to kind of do something like drop her handkerchief or some shit, allowing a chivalrous man to come along, pick it up for her, you know, and be, oh, my hero. Well, nowadays it's more or less the same kind of dynamic. The women just got to remember to drop a handkerchief, and then the men will do the rest. What do you guys think about that?
I mean,
give him a sign. Let him come be the freaking knight in shining armor for you in some small way, shape, or form. So that, you know, you both kind of set off on. You both want him to play that role for you in some way, shape, or form, even if it's forced. Just give him a chance. Drop the handkerchief. Let me pick it up.
But wouldn't that go back to my point earlier about how if she's more interested in you, that's better than you being interested in her?
Well, I think it's the man's job to not only like initiate, but to land deals, to close deals, like in your dynamic. And I don't want, nor expect, nor could imagine the woman leading on that and just me just following it, letting that go wherever it does. I'm guiding the ship.
Matter of fact,
that's not happening.
Yeah, I saw this video, and then Caleb, I want to get your take. I saw this video where the guy was asking about gender roles, essentially, and he was asking if she was the one to lead, how would that be for her? Like, is that pressure on her? She said, yeah, pressure, because I don't want to have that pressure to lead. So it made me wonder if there are women who do feel like that if they're the ones leading, it's pressure to try to lead.
I don't think most any woman wants to lead. In fact, this is a pro tip to young men out there that I figured out the long hard way. Instead of asking your girl, hey, where do you want to go to eat today or whatever, just suggest a place and be like, hey, babe, how about we do tacos for whatever. She's going to 9 times out of 10 be like, okay, cool. But the one time she might have like a pushback or whatever, you hear her out and you guys pick another place, offer some other suggestions. But you're not forcing her arm. You're just eliminating her having to decide things. I'm telling you, man, it will blow up in your face the more you. Eventually, she's gonna be like, I don't fucking care, just wherever, and get mad at you. Yeah. Just make a decision and lead the way, and she'll follow 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. So, and I agree with that too. Caleb, do you agree that it's better for the woman to be interested in you more than the other way around?
Hot seat for the closing question, Caleb, young man. All the women just got hushed silent. They're like, what's it?
Sorry, say that again.
So if you meet a woman, rather than being interested in her, do you think that it's better if she's more interested in you? Because what if you her, and you go up to her and make your move, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend." You know, she doesn't, or she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't see you that way."
Let me add a little nuance, if I may, Julius. So, Caleb, rather is it more ideal for the woman to be more pursuant of the man, or more interested, desiring of the man, versus the other way?
I'll say that. I mean, I could see it going both ways in some senses, to be honest. Because on the one hand, I'll say that, you know, you have people who are saying, well, women need to go out and seek traditional men and need to go out and seek men that will value them, you know, not to be Instagram thoughts, but as actual women who they are eventually willing to marry. I would say that on that side, traditional men are not going to be the ones who are going to be going and chasing down, you know, these women and saying, "Hey, I'm traditional, you know, be with me, marry me." You know, it's like that Grey's Anatomy scene.
I knew you were going to say that.
You know,
I knew you were going to say that. I don't know why I was thinking the same thing.
Does Julius have a younger self on Age of Men lately?
and so you know, like on that side, like I think it would be unfair to say that, you know, men need to be the ones who are going out there and like chasing down women. On the other hand, I will say that for men that are traditional, men who do exude that level of confidence and hold standing, they're you may catch, you know, a man like that his eye, but you have to advertise yourself. I mean, in some senses, and I'm not talking about your body, but like, can you
have to sell yourself to him? He's got plenty of options at that point.
Can you go and hold a conversation? Like, if this guy, I'm not saying you need to be an expert. Like, if this guy is a financial whiz, right? Like, show that you're not interested in this guy for his money. Go over there and show that you are interested. Like explain your characteristics. How do you two mesh? Because
give him peace when he's home from his business headaches, and I bet he'll want to give you all the money in the world that he has.
So I'll say, like, are you going to take care of the issues that? Because whether we like to admit it or not, the strongest men, the most financially stable men, all have teams out there, and so I will say that. On that side, what problems are you addressing or fixing that he at the time is not focused on that, because he's focused on building out.
If you're helping him deal with it and run his team successfully versus being another part of the team that's bickering and complaining and causing dissent.
Are you going to be an asset?
He's wagging you forever, trying to get rid of him.
Exactly. Are you going to be an asset, or are you going to be a problem? Because if you're going to be a problem, if you're a liability, I'm done. And you see, like, when you see the problem is, you look at, I'll point it out, right? There are high net worth men who don't hold that same level of thinking, and they end up getting screwed. I mean,
the girls take them for all they're worth, and frankly, you know what? I don't even fault the women for it.
Look at Jeff Bezos. He made his ex she is one of the richest women in America.
One of the richest people on earth due to divorcing his bitch ass.
She is one of the richest women in the world, actually.
More than most men, statistically, far and away.
Sure. And so, like, my point is this, right? Like, at the end of the day, if you don't have the mindset of, well, you know what, I'm going to go out and I am going to find a partner who is mutually beneficial to me, who has characteristics that are going to help me and not hinder me, or I'm going to have to worry about this person stabbing me in the back, 5-10 years down the line. Because if that's even something you're thinking of in your head, she's not.
He's out before tomorrow. Yep, they got to go right now. Just cut your losses.
One thing I will say, I can't say that word partner. That word makes me
mate.
Word partner makes me cringe. I can't. I'm just saying, for me, I can't stand that word. It's because from what I understood, and I actually read this one time too, that the word partner came from homosexuals.
Well, that's good to know. Maybe that'll stop me from ever accidentally using it again.
Well, Well,
Just-
I use partners because it's biblical. I mean, in you
Does
look,
it say partners in the Bible?
yeah, in First Peter's 3:7, you look and like it's a partnership. That's what is being
No,
what's
but
being
what I'm
described.
saying is like, but I'm saying like, does it use the word partner in the Bible? Like, say partner in the Bible.
It's Sodom and Gomorrah, I bet.
Oh man, I'd have to look.
Nah, hey, all good. If it's in the Bible, and I can't argue with that. But I just that word just I noticed that like a lot of homosexuals use that word, and now I'm starting to see. Because before, like the LGBT got really like how it is now, I always heard significant other. I've always heard that, and now I hear partner, and it's just like
So yeah, First Peter 3:7. Husbands, in the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives and treat them with respect as the weaker partner and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers.
I can't argue with the Bible then. So
I
I can't.
I wasn't trying to. Look. I'm not one to try and like throw like Bible verses and people.
No, but if it's in the Bible, I'm not going to argue with the Bible.
Bro, that's hilarious. I've never heard Jules.
Have it.
Where'd he go?
Nick, where'd you go?
I've never heard Julius like stop an argument faster on a dime, more in a cheerful mood than there. That was epic.
I'm not arguing.
Julius like I ain't going on the Bible like that.
Yeah, dude. If it's in the Bible, I'm not arguing with it.
Respect.
So.
I'm done.
But versions of it, no.
Well, yeah.
Hey, this is a good cliffhanger for another discussion, gentlemen. Sarge suggested a very, very worthy idea here that we should try to get Caleb back, if not on a monthly, like a regular feature spot, as often as we can get the young man. He's got quite the mind.
Caleb, anytime you want to come on. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to establish the conversation first in the first hour.
We're losing you, Julius. You're dying on us, man. This might be a good time to end the feed. Signal's going.
Yeah. Well, but no, anytime you want to come on, you're more than welcome. We want to get actually more young men on here to actually have a full panel. The young men, like between ages of like I'll say 18 and maybe 21, and see what the dating market is like for you guys. So we'll try to work it out one day to get a whole panel. I got a friend named Max, very smart dude that talks about this stuff too as well. But yeah, so I guess we're coming to the end. I guess Nick's Wi-Fi is messing up.
It's like sometimes God tries to tell us you guys have had a great show. It's time to shut it down.
Yeah. Well, look, one of these days I'm down to go a little bit longer. If Nick's cool with that, I'm down with it. But anyways, so yeah. So for all you guys watching, all 14 of you guys that I see watching, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching the show. If you're watching this on a replay, comment below what you think. Are men desirable when desired by other women? Give us your
we
thoughts.
go back and we read comments when we post these lives. You guys are watching them later. Do comment. We like to take it in.
Yep, we read comments and we respond back too. If it's worthy enough to respond, we do respond back. So we appreciate you guys. Do hit that like button. Do hit subscribe. Follow us on all social media platforms. All links are down below. If you guys want to donate and we're worthy enough, of donations, you can always donate us. It helps the channel. It helps us, bring more new stuff. That
if
intro,
we burn it, only if we burn it. We don't want no
Yeah.
handouts, no charity. We want to earn our keep. We're real men, trying to be at least.
And also, too, let us know what you guys think about the intro. I like the intro. If you guys comment below on the intro, if you guys missed it, just rewind it back. I think it's a great intro. So we appreciate you guys. And again, Caleb, you're always welcome back to come on anytime you want. Just let us know. From there on, I guess we'll see you guys next Sunday. Be safe out there. God bless you all. And till then, take care. Appreciate you, Caleb.
Awesome. Nice talking with y'all.
Yep. See ya.
Thanks, Caleb, buddy.
Absolutely.